We begin in Argentina, where President Javier Milei has secured victory in midterm elections. Milei's party won more than 40% of the vote, comfortably seeing off the main opposition. Campaigning was dominated by the economy. Milei has succeeded in bringing down inflation with painful austerity measures. His win should now unlock billions in U.S. aid. Donald Trump pledged a rescue package depending on his ally Milei winning the election. Let's bring in DW correspondent Jules Giessler in Buenos Aires. Thanks for talking to us, Jules. What more can you tell us about the first results?
The first results have been out and more than 90% of the votes have been counted. So these results are quite secure. This can be seen as a massive win for Javier Milei and his politics of the last 2 years. His experts have been saying everything above 35% can be seen as a win for him. The main opposition just came out with like 24% for now. And also Buenos Aires, one of the massive strongholds of the position, seems to be crumbling at the moment. So for Javier Milei, this is a big win, and his supporters are absolutely happy about this. And it definitely shows that the discontent that was there before, and we've seen in provincial elections in September in Buenos Aires, where he actually could say, got a slap in the face for his politics, he recovered strongly in these Congress elections, or his party recovered strongly in these national elections now.
And what kind of reactions are you hearing there in Argentina?
So the country is very polarized. We've seen very happy Milei supporters on the streets. I could hear them even from my balcony up here. People are celebrating. On the other hand, if you look at the other pictures from the opposition and the supporters out there, you see people are very quiet. The country has been, like, I've talked to so many people in the last week, and the country is still heavily divided. So very mixed reactions so far. Some of the people are celebrating, but half of the country also mourning the results at the moment.
These were legislative elections, although it reflected on Milei's policy. But what does this election result mean for Javier Milei practically?
So for him, practically speaking, what we see right now, he secured 40% of the votes. So that makes for him and his party more seats in Congress and also in the Senate. So what we're going to see is that if he plays it smart now and finds alliances in Congress, he can actually get a veto minority to block certain decisions that are coming from the opposition. Because if we look at the Congress still, we see apparently majority, so an opposition majority in Congress. And so, but with this vote now, Javier Milei is going to start strong, or his party is going to start strong in Congress, and can secure now veto minorities so that the other parties actually cannot do what they want. And he can block the votes and can try to find alliances to forge his economic outlook for the next 2 years.
Okay, and Donald Trump, U.S. President Donald Trump, threatened to pull U.S. aid if Milei's party didn't win. Does it look like that threat may have had an effect on the election there?
Some experts say yes. I talked to some experts about this, and they said it definitely had an impact on people might be going to the polls and voting for him, because his supporters are also very much in favor of Trump and his policies. And I mean, everybody in the country knew that this was a lifeline support the country heavily needed. So many Argentinians also came out saying, we really appreciate the support, but we don't want any political interference. And the opposition, some opposition officials came out saying, yes, we've not only been up to Milei and his party, but we also been up to Trump. And this was not a fair fight in this sense.
So accusations of election meddling. DW's Jules Giessler in Buenos Aires. Thank you.